As always, we start our cuts on the upcut saw. We need to rough cut. So first, a tiny little bit of math. I've determined that my box is going to be 5 wide and 9 inches long. So a simple 5 by 9 box, it'll be about that big. However, 5 inches and 9 inches are both too short to run through my jointer, my planer, or my sander. So I need to make them longer. I need them at least 10, but if I make all my pieces 10, that's a bit of a waste. The 9 inches may work out fine, but the 5's too much waste. So it's very simple. All we're going to do is we're going to put the sides together lengthwise. So I have 2 5's, and I always want to add at least 1 inch. In this case, I'd recommend at least 2 inches for length, because when we miter those corners, we're going to lose a little bit. We want to make sure we have enough. So that's one piece 12 inches long will give me my 2 5's. And then the 2 9's, that'll be 18, and add 2 more inches, and that'll be 20. So those are the lengths that I'm going to cut on the upcut saw. So again, grab the piece of style of wood that you want, but again, always please watch out for the big cracks or the paint and things. Always cut off the painted end. Now don't worry if there's paint in here, that'll all plane off, we'll sand that off. But I can see this crack, it doesn't end here, I see another knot. So I'm going to cut here, throw all that away, and then I'll start making my 2 cuts. Height-wise on your box, how tall it's going to be. The chop saws, with as thick as we're going on these are going to be a half an inch thick. You really can't cut anything taller than about 6 inches. Now I'm only making mine about 4.5. I'll determine that after I make these cuts. But it can't be a super tall box. So it has to be something that a chop saw on edge that it can cut through vertically. So let's make our cuts, then we'll go to the other machines after this. I did some measurements, thought about it, decided to make my box about 4.25 tall. This is completely arbitrary, but keep it less than 6, just so that the chop saw can actually cut it. So about 4.25, and make your cuts. For this box design, we're going to have all of the pieces a half an inch thick, all the 4 sides. Now that's thinner than we usually make for a regular project, but it works really well for a box this size. If your sides are too thick, it doesn't look right. It's also heavier. This one works out much better. So again, set it to your 14/16 and start planing till you get down to a half an inch. I'm now down to 9/16, and that's 1/16 off of a half an inch. But because I want to spend less time at the wide belt sander, I'm going to turn it a half turn to take a little bit more off. It'll save time later. The wide belt sander, we're going to sand it down to 0.500. Turn on the air and set it as usual. Lower it down. That fits in. Raise it till it stops itself. And because these pieces are so tiny, you could do 2 or 3 taps right now. 1, 2, I'll do 3 next time, because there's not a whole lot of wood being removed.